We lost all faith. Then we saw demons rain down from above. The earth was dying and everyone could feel it. Cities that once glowed at night with life now lay in ruins. The streets were empty and the wind carried a hollow sound, as if the world itself were mourning. Fires burned in some distant place, smoke drifting into skies darkened by storms that came without warning. The oceans had risen in some regions, swallowing villages and farmlands. Crops had failed for years, and disease moved quickly through people who had nothing left to eat. In this broken world, hope had become a word almost no one used. Liam Carter stood at the window of the orbital station Haven, staring down at the planet. He had spent most of his life fixing machines, building engines and systems to keep Haven alive. Now, no matter how many repairs he made, he could not fix what had happened below. He felt a cold weight in his chest, a feeling he had not known before. It was fear, but also something like sorrow for a world he had loved. "Liam," a voice called. It was Olivia Price, the station's medic. She came up beside him and leaned against the wall, her face pale under the station's dim lights. "Do you ever think maybe it's over? Maybe there is nothing left to save?" Liam did not answer at first. He looked down again at the Earth, the once blue and green planet now mostly gray and brown, broken by fire and flood. "I can't think that way," he said finally. "We can't just give up. Not here, not on Haven. We have to keep trying. That's all we can do." Olivia shook her head slowly. "Trying isn't enough anymore. Cities are gone. Governments are gone. People have stopped caring about anything except themselves. Do you really think we can turn it around?" He sighed. "I don't know. But if we stop believing we can, then it's over for sure." They stood in silence, watching the planet spin slowly beneath them. The silence was broken by a soft alarm. Clara Mitchell, the young scientist, came running in. Her hair was tied back, but a few strands had fallen loose across her face. She held a tablet in her hands, her fingers moving fast as she spoke. "Liam, Olivia, Ethan," she called. Ethan Hayes, the former soldier, joined them. He looked tired, his uniform wrinkled, but his eyes were sharp, always scanning for danger. "You need to see this." Clara held up the tablet. On the screen was a map of the Earth, marked with colored dots moving across the surface. The storms, they're not normal. I've been tracking them for days. They're moving fast, faster than anything natural. And, look at this. She zoomed in on one of the dots, and it pulsed with a strange light. There's something in the clouds, something big.
Ethan frowned.
"Big how? Like a storm bigger than usual? Or something else?" "I don't know," Clara admitted. "But it isn't natural. It moves with purpose. I can't explain it." Liam felt his stomach tighten. He hated not knowing. "Can we get a closer look?" he asked. Clara shook her head. "Too far. Too dangerous. It's moving fast and the storms are tearing themselves apart. But whatever it is, it's coming from orbit. From space." A cold silence fell over the group. They all understood the meaning. Something was coming down from above, something they had never seen before. Ethan rubbed his hands together, trying to push away the fear. "If it's from space, we should be able to track it. We can warn people. Maybe even stop it." Olivia looked at him, her eyes hard. "Stop it. We can barely survive here. We don't have armies, we don't have weapons that can reach it. If it's coming, we just have to hope it's not worse than anything we've faced." Liam clenched his fists. He hated feeling powerless. "We don't just hope," he said. "We do what we can. We fix what we can. We prepare, even if it's small. That's all any of us can do." Days passed and the group worked tirelessly. Haven's sensors scanned the approaching objects, trying to understand their size and speed. Clara ran simulations, calculating trajectories and energy outputs. Liam repaired engines and shields, preparing the station in case something struck. Ethan trained the crew in emergency procedures, moving through drills with quiet intensity. Olivia treated the sick and exhausted, making sure everyone stayed healthy enough to function. Despite their efforts, despair continued to creep into the station. Communication with Earth was nearly impossible. Most cities had fallen silent. Messages that did get through told stories of floods, fires, riots, and famine. People were losing hope, and some had given up entirely. One evening, Liam stood alone at the observation deck. The planet below was covered in clouds, a thick gray blanket that hid everything from view. He pressed his hand against the glass and whispered, "We can't fail. Not now." Suddenly, a light flashed across the sky, brighter than any star, and then another. Clara appeared behind him, her face pale. "Liam, look." They watched together as streaks of light pierced the clouds, moving with strange precision. They were not meteors. They moved like they were alive. The group gathered quickly, watching the sky through the station's main viewport. What are those?" Olivia asked. "I don't know," Clara said, her voice trembling slightly. "But they're huge. And they're coming down fast." Ethan's jaw tightened. "We need to warn anyone we can. Ships, stations, anyone." Liam shook his head. "There's no time. They're too fast. And something about them, it's not just size or speed. It's like they know we're here, like they're watching." For hours they watched the sky. The objects moved closer, descending through the atmosphere. Liam could see shapes forming, massive wings and glowing eyes. Olivia grabbed his arm. They're demons," she whispered. "They look like demons from the old stories." Liam frowned. "No, they're not demons. They're something else. Something we've never seen. We have to think, not panic." Clara nodded. "I've been trying to scan their energy. It's unlike anything we know. It's alive, almost intelligent. And they're not attacking yet. They're observing." The group sat in silence, watching the terrifying display. Fear filled the room, but also something else, curiosity. Even in the face of death, they wanted to understand. Humanity had always been like that, stubborn, curious, never willing to give up. As night fell over the planet, the group finally retreated to rest. Liam stayed at the observation deck a little longer, staring at the objects descending slowly but surely. He thought about Earth, about all the people who had given up hope, and he felt a spark of determination. Humanity had been through wars, plagues, and disasters before. They had survived. Even if the world below was falling apart, he told himself, they could not give up. They could not lose faith completely. The light in the sky pulsed again, closer now, brighter than ever. And for the first time in years, Liam felt something he had not felt in a long time. The possibility that maybe, just maybe, humanity could rise again. He whispered to himself, "We won't give up. Not yet. We'll face whatever comes. We have to." Outside, the wind on Earth howled through the broken cities. Fires burned. Floods rose. Storms raged. But above it all, in the cold black of space, something watched. Something that would change everything. The crew of Haven did not yet know it, but their world, and all of humanity, was about to be tested in a way they could never have imagined. And for the first time in a long time, Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara held on to a fragile, flickering hope. Even in a world that had lost all faith, they believed that somehow they could survive. Somehow they could endure. Somewhere above the clouds, the first of the demons began its descent, and the Earth waited. The strange objects in the sky moved closer, faster than anyone had expected. From the observation deck of Haven, Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara watched as the shapes grew larger. They were enormous, their wings spreading wide, dark and metallic, glowing with a strange inner light. Their eyes shone like burning coals, scanning the Earth below. Liam felt a chill run down his spine. "They're huge," Ethan said quietly, his voice tense. "Bigger than any ship we've ever built." Clara shook her head. "It's not a ship. Not really. It moves too naturally, too smoothly. Almost like it has a mind of its own." Olivia pressed her hands together. Why aren't they attacking? If they wanted to destroy us, they could already be here. Liam did not answer. He felt a strange mixture of fear and fascination. Maybe they're not here to destroy. Maybe they're observing. We need to understand what they want. The objects descended slowly through the clouds, the air around them shimmering. Liam realized they were not just falling. They were moving with purpose, almost like they were thinking. Clara leaned closer to the scanner. Their energy, it's alive, she said. I've never seen anything like this. It's intelligent. They can sense us. Ethan frowned. Sensing us? What does that mean? They're studying us, Clara said. I don't know why, but I think they want to see how we react.
How humans behave, Liam rubbed his hands over his face.
Then we better act carefully. We can't panic. We can't show fear. Below, Earth was in chaos. Cities burned and rivers overflowed. People screamed and ran, trying to survive storms and fires. Some looked up at the sky, their faces filled with terror at the enormous forms that moved like demons. Others fell to their knees, praying to gods who had long since abandoned them. On Haven, the crew tried to communicate with the few functioning cities and ships still alive. Most of the messages went unanswered. Liam's fingers flew over the controls, trying to send warnings and instructions. Ethan coordinated emergency plans with the remaining military units. Olivia organized medical help as best she could. Clara worked on understanding the alien energy signals, hoping to find a clue about their intentions. Hours passed, and still, the strange beings did not attack. Instead, they hovered, observing, moving slowly across the continents. Liam watched the lights of one of them sweep over a ruined city. He could see the buildings crumble beneath the glow, but some areas remained untouched. It was as if the creatures were choosing what to destroy and what to spare. They're testing us, Liam said. They want to see how humans react under pressure. They're not mindless killers.
Olivia nodded slowly.
Then maybe we can survive this. But we have to be careful. We have to show them we're capable of more than fear. Clara's eyes were wide with wonder. Their technology, it's incredible. They're not just machines. They can manipulate energy, matter, almost like they can change the world around them. If we fight them, we'll lose. But if we understand them, maybe we can learn something. Ethan shook his head. Learn something? If they wanted to kill us, we'd be dead already. We need to focus on survival, not lessons. Liam turned to him. Sometimes survival isn't about hiding or fighting. Sometimes it's about understanding. And maybe showing that we're worth keeping alive. The next day, the beings began to descend closer to Earth's surface. People on the ground could see their huge forms against the clouds. Panic spread like wildfire. Cities emptied as people ran, trying to escape the glowing shadows. Military forces tried to attack, but conventional weapons had no effect. Missiles exploded harmlessly against the energy shields surrounding the creatures. Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara watched in tense silence. We need a plan, Liam said. We can't stop them from coming, but maybe we can guide what they see. Maybe we can show them humanity isn't completely lost. Clara nodded. I think I can do something. Their energy. It responds to human thought patterns. If we can amplify certain signals, maybe we can communicate, or at least influence them. Olivia looked worried. Are you sure that's safe? We have no idea what it might do.
It's risky, Clara admitted, but if we do nothing, we'll be powerless.
I think we can try. Ethan rubbed his forehead. I don't like this. We're messing with things we don't understand. Liam placed a hand on his shoulder. Ethan, sometimes the only choice is to try. We survive because we act, not because we hide. The crew worked tirelessly to prepare. Clara built a device to send amplified brain signals into the approaching beings, using the station's power systems. Liam and Ethan reinforced Haven, making sure it could survive any reaction from the creatures. Olivia prepared medical supplies, fearing the worst but hoping for the best. When everything was ready, they activated the device. A soft hum filled the station as energy waves pulsed into space. Outside, the beings paused, their glowing eyes turning toward Haven. For a moment, it seemed like time itself had stopped. Then one of the creatures moved closer, descending toward the station. Its huge wings shimmered with energy, and its eyes seemed to study them carefully. The hum of the device reached it, and for a brief moment, Liam felt, understood. The creature was not mindless. It was intelligent, and it was watching them. "This is it," Liam whispered. "They're seeing us. They're seeing who we are." Clara's voice was tense but excited. "They're responding. The device, it's working. They're reacting to our thoughts, our intentions." Ethan stepped back, still wary. "I still don't trust them. One wrong move and it could be the end of us." Olivia squeezed his arm. "But they haven't attacked. They're not here to destroy. At least not yet. Maybe they want to test humanity, not kill it." The day passed with the beings observing, moving slowly across continents. Some cities were spared while others were destroyed. People began to notice a pattern. Wherever communities worked together, shared resources, and helped each other, they were left intact. Where fear, selfishness, and violence ruled, destruction followed. Liam realized the truth. They're not just observing. They're judging. "They want to see what humans are capable of." Olivia nodded. "Then we have to show them our best. We can't let fear control us. We have to act with courage, with kindness, with intelligence." Clara studied her device, fascinated. "And we can help. I think the more we think, the more we show them, the more they understand our potential. It's like they can see into our minds, into our hearts."
Ethan finally spoke, his voice quieter than usual.
"Then we fight, not with weapons, but with who we are. If they're testing us, we have to show them humanity is worth saving." That night, the crew looked out at Earth. Fires still burned, storms still raged, but there were signs of hope. People were helping each other. Communities were organizing defenses, sharing food and water, saving those who could not save themselves. From the station, it looked like small points of light in the darkness, but Liam knew they were more than that. They were the spark of human courage. The beings hovered above the Earth, their glowing eyes moving slowly across the surface. For hours they observed the changes, the acts of bravery, the kindness, and the ingenuity. Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara stayed awake, watching, knowing that their survival, and the survival of all humanity, depended on this moment. By morning, the pattern was clear. The beings had begun to move away from areas where humans worked together, sparing cities and towns that showed courage and unity. Areas ruled by fear and selfishness were destroyed. Clara looked at the readings on her device. "They're sending signals now. I don't know exactly what it means, but it's like approval. They're responding to the things we're doing right." Liam let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Then we're not powerless. We have a chance. A real chance." Olivia smiled faintly, though exhaustion showed on her face. "We may not have much, but we can still survive. And we can still fight, not with weapons, but with our minds, our hearts, and our courage." Ethan nodded slowly, his usual confidence returning. "Then let's show them who we are. Let's make sure humanity isn't a failure." The crew of Haven worked tirelessly, coordinating with survivors on Earth, guiding communities and using Clara's device to amplify human ingenuity. Slowly, humanity began to respond, even in the face of terror. The strange beings continued to watch, moving across the planet, testing, judging, observing. And for the first time in a long time, humanity had a purpose beyond survival. They had a chance to prove they were worth keeping. And above it all, in the cold black of space, the beings waited, their glowing eyes fixed on the sparks of courage that began to shine across the Earth. The strange beings stayed above the Earth, moving slowly across the surface. Wherever they went, people either ran in fear or acted together. Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara watched from Haven as cities that helped each other were left untouched. while places full of panic and selfishness were destroyed. Liam clenched his fists. This is our chance. We have to show them humanity is worth saving. Not just here, not just on Haven, but everywhere.
Olivia nodded. We can't let fear control people.
We need to guide them. We need to show them that working together is stronger than running apart. Clara worked at the control panel, her hands moving quickly. I've been analyzing their energy signals. I think I can make the device do more than just communicate. We can amplify human creativity and problem solving. If we show them ingenuity, maybe they will understand we are more than destruction and fear. Ethan frowned. You mean we make people smarter, faster, stronger? Not physically, Clara said, but their minds can focus better. They can find solutions they couldn't before. It's like giving them clarity in the chaos. And if we can coordinate this with towns and cities, we can show the beings that humans can adapt and survive. Liam took a deep breath. Then let's do it. Let's help them see who we really are. They worked tirelessly for hours. Clara connected the device to the station's main power core. Energy pulses hummed through the equipment, reaching out into space toward the alien beings. Slowly, the signal spread across the planet, touching communities where people still wanted to survive. In a small town near the edge of a burned-out forest, people began to notice something strange. Panic was replaced with focus. Farmers who had been afraid to move started repairing walls to protect their homes. Engineers who had given up found ways to fix generators and water pumps. Medical workers organized shelters and treated the injured with remarkable speed. People who had been alone reached out to help neighbors, working together for the first time in months. Back on Haven, Liam watched the changes. It's working, he said quietly. They're seeing it. They're noticing. Ethan rubbed his hands together. Then we need to push it further. We can't just show survival. We need to show courage, creativity, and cooperation. Olivia glanced at the screen. We can coordinate multiple regions. If we focus on big cities and spread the signal, the beings will see patterns everywhere. They'll see that humans can choose to be strong, not just weak. Clara nodded. It will take energy and focus. We can't do it for the whole planet at once, but if we start with key areas, we can make a difference. They began targeting cities and towns one by one. In each place, humans suddenly found solutions to problems they had thought impossible. Broken bridges were rebuilt. Flooded areas were drained. Fire lines were cleared. Food and water were distributed efficiently. Communities that had been on the edge of collapse began to function like teams. Liam watched the alien beings through the station's main viewport. They moved slower now, hovering over places that showed potential. Their eyes glowed, scanning everything below. Liam felt a strange sense of hope. They're noticing. They're learning about us, just like we're learning about them. Ethan paced the room. I still don't trust them. One wrong move, one mistake, and it could all be over. Olivia touched his arm. We have to trust ourselves first. We have to trust that humanity can do more than just survive.
Night fell over the earth, but in many towns the lights stayed on. Fires were smaller, controlled, and people were organizing defenses rather than running in fear.
Communication networks worked better as survivors shared knowledge. Liam realized that humans were beginning to act as one, even though they were spread across continents. Clara adjusted the device. If we push a little harder, we can make people coordinate on a larger scale. Cities can connect, share resources, and solve problems faster. It's risky, but it could show the beings that humans are capable of real unity. Liam nodded. Do it. We have to show them the best of us. The pulses from the device spread across continents. People in distant regions suddenly found the clarity to act. Farmers in one area coordinated with engineers in another. Medical teams moved supplies efficiently, knowing where they were most needed. People who had been fighting each other now worked side by side. On Haven, the crew watched the patterns emerge on the monitors. Look at that, Ethan said, pointing to a map. They're responding. Their energy is changing where people cooperate. It's like they're encouraging it, not just observing. Clara's eyes widened.
Yes, they're amplifying the positive behavior.
They're reacting to acts of courage, kindness, and intelligence.
Olivia smiled faintly. Then we're not just surviving.
We're showing them what humanity can be.
The next day, the alien beings began to descend even closer to the Earth.
Their massive wings shimmered, their eyes scanning the planet. But instead of attacking, they hovered over areas that showed strong cooperation. Fires that had threatened towns were pushed back, floods drained more quickly, and resources seemed to flow naturally to where they were needed most. People below began to notice. Children who had hidden in fear ran outside to help rebuild. Adults shared food and medicine freely. Communities that had given up hope began to feel a sense of purpose. Ethan shook his head in disbelief.
They're not destroying us. They're...
Helping us. But why? Why not just wipe us out? Liam looked out the viewport, his face serious.
I think they want to see if we're worth saving. This isn't about power. It's about character. They're testing us.
And right now, humanity is passing.
Clara's hands moved over her equipment rapidly. The energy readings.
They're incredible. Wherever humans cooperate, the beings amplify it. Where humans fail, the destruction is total. It's like they're teaching us a lesson. Olivia placed a hand on Liam's shoulder. Then we need to keep teaching. Keep showing them that humans can be more than fear and selfishness.
As the day went on, more and more areas began to act together. Farmers, engineers, medical teams, and civilians worked side by side.
In one city, a group of survivors built a water pump system that had been impossible for months. In another, engineers repaired a bridge to reconnect a town that had been cut off by floods. Haven became the control center, guiding human efforts across the planet. Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara worked without rest, coordinating signals, repairing the station, and making sure everything ran smoothly. For the first time, they felt that their work mattered, that they could make a difference. The alien beings hovered silently above, their glowing eyes watching the planet. They moved slowly, their energy responding to the acts of humans below. Wherever humans acted with courage, intelligence, and kindness, the beings seemed to encourage it, their energy pulsing in harmony with human effort. Liam watched and felt a spark of hope. "We're showing them who we are," he said quietly. "We're showing them that humanity can rise even from despair." Ethan nodded. "Then let's push harder. We need to make sure every area, every town, every city shows what humans can do. They can't just destroy us all now. Not after this."
Olivia smiled faintly. It's working.
People are learning to trust each other again. They're learning to survive together. That's what we needed. Clara's eyes were wide with excitement. And if we keep this up, maybe they'll see that humans are capable of more than just survival. Maybe they'll see that we're worth saving completely. The crew worked late into the night, sending energy pulses and guiding human effort. Fires were reduced, floods were controlled, and resources were shared more efficiently than anyone had thought possible. People on Earth began to understand that survival depended on cooperation, not fear. The alien beings hovered above, watching everything. Their glowing eyes moved across continents, responding to every act of courage, every display of intelligence, every act of kindness. For the first time in months, Liam felt that humanity was not just surviving. Humanity was rising, and the beings, the mysterious watchers from above, continued to observe, judging, testing, and waiting to see what humans could truly become. The strange beings stayed above Earth, their glowing eyes sweeping over the planet. For days they had observed humanity testing courage, intelligence, and unity. Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara watched from Haven as the planet slowly changed. Towns and cities that had been weak and chaotic were now organized, working together to survive. Humanity was learning, adapting, and rising. Liam pressed his hands on the viewport, staring down at Earth. "We've done it," he whispered. "We've shown them we can fight fear, we can act together, and we can survive." Ethan shook his head. "Don't get too confident. They're still up there. We don't know what they want yet." Clara adjusted her equipment. "I've been monitoring their energy signals." They're different now. It's like they're recognizing humans, not just observing. Their energy is almost approving.
Olivia nodded. Then we need to keep it up. We have to show them more.
Not just survival, but bravery, kindness, and ingenuity on a larger scale. The team worked tirelessly, guiding human efforts across continents. Cities rebuilt bridges and roads destroyed by storms. Flooded towns drained rivers and cleared debris. People shared food and medicine with neighbors they had never spoken to before. Communities that had been isolated learned to communicate and coordinate. Below, small acts of courage began to grow. Children ran into danger to save pets or help neighbors. Farmers risked their lives to repair equipment in flooded fields. Medical workers treated the sick in makeshift clinics. People who had once been selfish now helped each other without expecting anything in return. Liam watched the patterns form on the monitors. "It's working," he said. "They can see what we can be. We're showing them that humans are worth saving."
Ethan rubbed his hands together.
Then let's make it count. We can't just survive. We have to prove humanity is stronger than destruction. Clara's device pulsed with energy. If we coordinate the humans on a global scale, their reactions will amplify. We can show the beings that humans are creative, adaptable, and brave. We can prove our worth completely.
Olivia placed her hand on Clara's arm. "It's risky."
We don't know what will happen if we push too far. Clara nodded. "I know, but it's our only chance. If we do nothing, we fail."
If we act, we might show them humanity's true potential.
They began the final stage. Signals from Haven spread across the planet, connecting humans in different regions. Communities that had been isolated began to work together. Engineers and farmers shared knowledge. Medical teams coordinated across cities. People acted as one, solving problems faster than anyone thought possible. In one city, survivors built a system to bring clean water to thousands. In another, engineers repaired a dam that had been broken for months. Firefighters controlled wildfires that had threatened towns for weeks. Across the planet, people were acting with courage, intelligence, and cooperation. From Haven, Liam watched the alien beings hover closer. Their glowing eyes scanned the Earth, moving slowly over areas of strong human action. For the first time, Liam felt that they were judging not with cruelty, but with understanding. "They're seeing everything," Liam said. "All our effort, all our courage, all our unity. They're judging humanity by who we are, not by what we fear." Ethan nodded. "Then let's make sure they see the best of us." "We can't waste this chance." Olivia smiled faintly. "We've come this far. Now we have to finish it." Clara's device pulsed stronger, sending signals faster and wider. Humans across continents were connected, their actions coordinated. People worked with clarity, solving problems that had seemed impossible. They built, repaired, healed, and defended. Courage and cooperation spread like wildfire. The alien beings hovered directly above a large city, their wings shining, their energy humming in resonance with human activity. Liam and the others held their breath. The city below had rebuilt itself from near total destruction, its people acting with courage and intelligence. A sudden pulse of energy shot from the beings to the planet. Lights flashed in the city as the energy reached the coordinated humans. Liam felt a strange vibration through Haven, as if the world itself was breathing. "They're interacting with us," Clara said. "They're testing our limits, our potential."
It's not just observation anymore.
Olivia clasped her hands together. "Then we have to show them the best of humanity."
Every act of courage counts. Every act of kindness matters. Below, people responded instinctively. Soldiers helped civilians. Engineers repaired structures under dangerous conditions. Children delivered messages to faraway shelters. Neighbors rescued neighbors from flooded streets. Acts of bravery and ingenuity multiplied across the planet. The alien beings pulsed energy in response. Liam could see it through the monitors. Waves of light that moved across the planet, following areas where humans were courageous, intelligent, and cooperative. The beings were not destroying. They were amplifying humanity's best qualities. Ethan shook his head in disbelief. They're helping us. They're making us stronger. Liam's eyes were fixed on the viewport, not physically, but they're showing us that we can rise. That humans are more than just fear and weakness. We are capable of courage, unity, and creation. Clara's fingers moved rapidly over her equipment. If we maintain this, the entire planet can act as one. We can show the beings that humanity is truly worth saving. Olivia looked out at the earth. Then we keep going. We guide, we help, and we encourage. We have one last chance to prove ourselves. As the day went on, the beings hovered, pulsing energy over coordinated humans. Areas of cooperation and bravery expanded across continents. People worked together to rebuild infrastructure, heal the wounded, and protect the vulnerable. Humanity was rising from the ashes, stronger and smarter than before. Liam felt a warmth in his chest he hadn't felt for years. We're showing them everything. They see that humans can choose courage, intelligence, and kindness. That's what matters. Ethan smiled faintly. Then let's make it perfect. Let's show them the best we can be. Night fell, but humanity's effort did not stop. Lights shone across rebuilt towns. Fires were controlled, water systems repaired, and communities connected. People no longer acted out of fear. They acted out of courage, intelligence, and care for one another. The alien beings moved slowly, scanning the globe. Their eyes glowed brighter as they hovered over humanity's best efforts. Liam realized that they were responding not just to human action, but to human potential. They're judging everything. Not just what we do, but what we can be. Clara nodded, and we're showing them that humans are worth saving. We've passed their test. Olivia placed her hand on Liam's arm. Then, we hold this. We keep guiding humanity until the beings understand completely. Suddenly, the largest being moved above Haven. Its wings stretched wide, glowing with energy. Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara stared at it, frozen. The energy it emitted pulsed gently at first, then grew stronger. Clara's equipment hummed, translating the energy into patterns.
They're communicating, not with words, but with intention.
It's like they're telling us we've done well. Ethan exhaled slowly.
So, they're approving. They're not here to destroy us.
Liam nodded. They're giving us a chance, a real chance to rebuild, to prove that humanity can rise. The being hovered for a long moment, then released a cascade of energy toward Earth. The energy flowed into the planet, healing forests, rivers, and cities. Floods receded, fires went out, and ecosystems began to recover. Human technology and ingenuity, amplified by the being's energy, reached its full potential. Humanity had survived, and now the world itself was being restored. Olivia gasped. They're not just saving us, they're helping us rebuild the planet. Clara smiled, tears in her eyes. And we did it. Humanity survived because we acted together, because we were brave and clever.
We showed them what we could be. Ethan looked out at the restored Earth.
We weren't perfect, but we did enough. That's what mattered. Liam pressed his hands to the viewport, feeling hope swell in his chest. We lost all faith, he said softly, and yet we were given a chance, and we didn't fail. The alien beings hovered above for a moment longer, their glowing eyes scanning the planet one last time. Then they began to rise, slowly retreating into the sky. Humanity had passed their test. The crew of Haven watched in awe as the beings disappeared into space. The planet below glowed with life and recovery. People were emerging from hiding, helping each other, rebuilding communities. Humanity had survived despair, destruction, and fear. Liam, Olivia, Ethan, and Clara stood together, watching the sunrise over a renewed world. The Earth was still fragile, but it was alive, and humanity had been given a second chance.
We did it, Liam said quietly. We survived.
We proved we're worth saving.
Olivia smiled, tears on her cheeks. We didn't just survive.
We rose. Humanity is stronger than we thought. Ethan nodded. Then let's make sure we never forget this. Never give up again. Clara looked at the horizon, hope shining in her eyes. This is just the beginning. We have a world to rebuild, but now we know we can do it. Above them, the sky was clear. The beings were gone, leaving only a planet renewed and a humanity ready to rise. For the first time in years, Liam felt true faith. Not in gods, not in machines, not in luck, but in people. Humanity had faced despair, faced fear, faced destruction, and had risen above it all. The earth was alive again, and so were its people. And from that day forward, humanity would never forget the lesson from above. Courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the greatest darkness.